One of the best ways to experience the sound of a V12 Ferrari is get behind the wheel of an open-top example. That way you can enjoy the wind in your hair, the rich sound that only 12 Ferrari cylinders can make. The three Ferrari Spiders we're featuring today, they represent a real good cross-section of Ferrari Convertibles from the 50s, 60s and 70s. The Series 1 is a car with great history and fantastic provenance. It's only 3 owners from new. It epitomises 1950s glamour, when a Ferrari road car was a very rare sight indeed. It's so easy to drive, powerful, a real exotic car from that era. When you drive, it shrinks around you and it's actually a narrow car. It's about a foot narrower than a modern Ferrari Spider. So it works really well on our country roads. But it's a really comfortable open grand touring car, ready for some long distance touring events, or it's equally at home on a concours lawn. It's probably one of the best Series 1 PF cabriolets in existence. I love the long-term ownership. The last owner had it for 40 years, and it's one of only 4 with open headlights, a very rare car indeed. The 1962 250 GT Series 2 Cabriolet is a completely different car to the Series 1. Whereas the Series 1 was a purely hand-built and very limited edition model, and a very expensive one, the Series 2 has a totally different body style and is a practical grand tourer at a third of the price of a Series 1 Spider. From a performance point of view, the Series 2 was fitted with more powerful Colombo V12 engine with outside plug, along with a 4-speed and overdrive gearbox. It gave a top speed approaching 150 miles an hour. The fitment of the newly introduced 4-wheel disc brakes and the latest Koni shock absorbers gave the car great handling to match the performance of the engine. The factory hardtop comes with this car. It gives it a real feeling of a closed GT. So many ways it's convincing either as a cabriolet or a GT car. You can take this car anywhere. It was subject to 5-year restoration costing $400,000 plus. It's in amazing condition and it's in beautiful livery, black with black interior. It's a stunning car. An interesting car is the 365 GTC4 Spider. It was converted by Bechelli in Villa and the trim done by Lupi in Italy. Ferrari never made a Spider of this model. It's surprising because it's so beautiful as a Spider. In many ways I think it's prettier than a Daytona. Daytona Spiders are harder cars to drive. The GTC4 is so much easier to drive. It's power steering and it's virtually the same horsepower. It's got really good, strong performance. We drove it back from this year's Ferrari National Meeting and it performed really strongly. And it's also a sixth of the price of a genuine Daytona convertible. It's probably one of the most cost-effective routes into a V12 convertible Ferrari. It's a real fun car to drive, and there's only a handful of them in the world. All of the Spiders are really easy to drive on narrow country roads. Modern cars are so much wider and rural roads have not got wider to accommodate this. You've also got large glass areas that have great visibility, and there's no question that they're all the more tactile to drive than modern cars. An old classic Ferrari convertible would be my preference in a heartbeat. You always get positive reaction when you arrive somewhere in a classic drop head. Not always the case when you turn up in a modern, noisier V12. Financially, markets, they ebb and flow. Over time, these cars have proved amazingly good investments. They've long since lost any sensitivity to the numbers of miles on the clock. When you buy these cars, it's based on condition, and try and buy the best example you can afford. Doing proper research, just buy cars with good history. No other marque can match the marque of Ferrari. They're just the greatest cars in the world.